Brussels sprouts are a fun vegetable to grow in the garden, and it's easy to grow if you get the timing right. Today I'd like to share with you how and when you should start your Brussels sprout seeds for the best garden success. So there are long season Brussels sprouts and short season. And if you live in zones 3 through 5, just grow the short season. Now if you live in zones 6 through 10, you can grow the short season type for early Brussels sprouts, and then you can also plant the long season variety at the same time and have a second crop later in the fall. Now you can start all types with this method that we're going to explain here. I have found that I can freeze Brussels sprouts quite well and eat them in the wintertime. So you want to chop, blanch, cool, and then freeze them. So Brussels sprouts is one of the vegetables that doesn't mind being transplanted and doesn't mind a light frost. And this is really good for us because we can start the Brussels sprout plants in the house 8 weeks before our last frost date. So this will give us some Brussels sprouts to eat 4 weeks earlier than a crop started outside. Now there's 5 steps to a successful start. Number 1 is start time. So start time is going to vary depending on your growing zone. So look up your last average frost date and count back 8 weeks. So for example, my last average frost date is May 15th. 8 weeks back will be around March 15th. This is when I start my Brussels sprout seeds. Number 2, plant the seeds in a small tray or pot and use seedling starter mix. The reason we want to use seedling starter mix is because some seeds are sensitive to fertilizers and will not germinate if there are fertilizers in the soil. So it's safer to start all your seedlings in a seedling starter mix. So we have our family secret seedling soil mix recipe available to you. I'll put a link in the description below so you can go find it if that's the one you'd like to use. Now if you want to buy a pre-made mix, I would use Seed Starter Natural Potting Soil Mix. It's made in the United States, and it's what a lot of the professional growers use. And I'll put the link in the description below if you want to find the seedling starter mix. Now you will want 3 Brussels sprout plants per person that you're going to feed. And if you're going to freeze some Brussels sprouts for the winter, then you want to do double that amount. So for example, there are 4 people that I am feeding. I will plant 12 Brussels sprout plants for fresh eating and then some for freezing. So this will be a total of 24 plants. So I will then sow 48 seeds. Now the reason I want to sow so many seeds is that things can happen to your seedlings along the way, and I want to be sure that I get enough Brussels sprouts plants to put in the ground. If I have extra, that's great, I can give some away. I can never get the time back if I don't plant enough seed. So double what you are wanting, and if you're wanting a succession of Brussels sprouts to eat throughout the season, go ahead and plant a short season and a long season variety at the same time. All right, number 3 is grow the plants under lights for 12 hours a day, or put them outside during the day if it's above freezing, and then inside at night. Now once you see the first adult leaves starting to grow, it's time to transplant the seedlings into their own pots. This happens around 3 weeks. All right, number 4 is transplant the seedlings into organic potting soil. I like the Happy Frog potting soil. I really like this company because they understand how important the soil biology is for our plants' health. So I'll put a link in the description below so you can go and find that soil. Now if you want to make your own potting soil, use our family secret seedling mix recipe and then add a cup of compost for every 8 cups of seedling soil mix. At this stage, the nutrient that came in the seed is used up and the plant is now needing a source of nutrients in the soil. Compost will work the best. If you don't have your own compost, I will use Espoma Organic Land and Sea Gourmet Compost or worm castings. I like the Brute Organic Worm Castings, and I'll put a link in the description below if you want to find either one of those. So anytime you are selecting an amendment for your garden, make sure that it has the OMRI listing or another organic certification. This is important for the biology that lives around your plant roots and helps your plant to be strong and healthy. Now at this point, it's important to put your plants outside during the day and then back inside at night. if the temperatures are going to be below freezing at night. So start the plants with a few hours of sunlight and then add an hour more sunlight a day until they can be outside in the full sun all day. Also keep them moist as you are hardening them off. All right, number 5, once you are 4 weeks before your last average frost date, you can plant the Brussels sprout plants outside in the garden. Now, if a storm is going to come through and freeze the plants, I would cover them with a frost blanket. Now, if you'd like to learn 3 low-tech frost protection systems for tomatoes and frost tender seedlings, you can check out our video. I'll put the link in the description below so you can find that. Now, if you're wanting to learn more about growing organic vegetables, you can jump into our High Performance Garden Show. There's over 300 episodes for you to learn from. It's free, it's online, and you can find it on our website, thelivingfarm.org/high-performance-garden-show. I'll also put a link in the description below.